NXT Great American Bash 2024 promised 2 weeks of great action, starting with this week's edition. Roxanne Perez put her NXT Women's Championship on the line against Tia Hale. Could the Chase U Firecracker pull off the ultimate upset? Alba Fire and Isla Dawn return to NXT to defend their titles in the first match against the Metaphors. Let's get straight into that. Lash Legends' power was on full display in this match, but Fire and Dawn were just too smart to lose. They isolated Jackson for the evil touch to secure the victory. Even with an unfortunate commercial break when the match was going strong, this was one of the best women's tag matches this year. Obviously a low bar because we haven't seen much of it. Serious credit on that goes to the chance. It's a shame that WWE does not seem interested in booking them often because they are a good solid tag team. This was showcased in their consistent double team offense as well as great psychology throughout, selling the challenges at the risk of baby faces. Legends and Jackson looked solid overall. Legends especially showed out while Jackson got a little sloppy to the end due to a bit of inexperience, but I thought this was still a pretty solid opening match and gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for Tony G taking on Tavian Heights for the Heritage Cup, and after a competitive first 2 falls, Tony D got the first fall in round 3 with Forget About It. Ren Sinclair then motivated Tavian Heights to respond with a belly-to-belly suplex for his first fall in round 4. Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne and Sinclair argued outside afterwards, leaving Heights alone for round 5 where the Don planted him with a high spine buster to win. It was a showcase match for Heights, who looked better than he ever has. Teeny D let him shine through the first 2 rounds before the dramatics began. This could have been used a little more time, but it was good for him to get what he got. When NXT 2.0 arrived, 4 men were declared as the leader of the brand. D'Angelo is the last man standing on a gold brand, and I think it shows with his experience. NXT's in a different era, and it's time for D'Angelo to get his maybe opportunity. Give him at least a Breaker and Carmelo treatment, working the occasional match on Raw or SmackDown. So yeah, on the whole, I thought it was pretty decent and gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Cedric Alexander then took on Brooks Jensen. Sean Spears arrived late to watch this match closely. Brooks Jensen showed his brutality, sending Alexander reeling. However, after Jensen landed leg first hard on the announce table, Alexander caught him with a lumbar check for the win. This was not a result for this match that could help everyone. Alexander needed a win after a big loss last week. Jensen needed a win to keep his momentum going. Alexander won out. This match was like the right move. The veteran cruiserweight needs some credibility. This win sets up a likely battle with the chairman sooner rather than later, continuing to establish Alexander on this roster. The action was fine but forgettable. Jensen looked solid and took advantage of working with a great veteran. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Decent, but yeah, probably forgettable. Joe Hendry then sang about how much he makes NXT better while Booker T and Shawn Michaels were being teased. Finally, he claimed Gallus got deported for having awful facial hair. When he prepared to sing his scene, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang interrupted. Gallus battered Henry and hit him with his guitar. As far as Hendry concepts go, this was not his best song, but it was a fun start to the full experience of the Scotsman. The crowd was all in on supporting Hendry through it all. Gallus started getting the first crack at Hendry was a smart way to keep them relevant after some tough losses. The group has done the most working with the incoming TNA talent of anyone. The stage is set for what may be the most anticipated match of Joey's NXT career. Before we got Jada Parker against Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray fought hard but went down to Jada Parker after a teardrop in the corner and hypnotic. This was a basic swash to sell Parker's credibility. It may not be necessary, but Gray got some experience on the main show at least, rather than LVO up, and yeah, Parker seems to be in position with a title opportunity sooner than later. With time rapidly running low for Roxanne Perez's title reign, Parker could be a nice title defense when Julia or Stephanie Vaquer take the gold. While Parker's not ready to be the champion, she definitely deserves a better spotlight. Still probably needs a better finisher. For this alone, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Before it's time for Load of Ice, Soul Rocker and Karen Petrovich taking on Fallon Henry, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. While Vice, Rooker and Petrovich work well together, Henry, Jane and Nix look more cohesive, I think it's fair to say. A Pele kick into a rolling forearm strike into a lifting customer and Petrovich sealed it for the heels. This was a showcase of the present and future of the NXT Women's Division. Everyone got the time to shine and the right team won after taking some tough losses. In many ways, this over-delivered. The cohesion of the teams was impressive. Ruka remains an inconsistent Highland Rail performer that has more hits than misses. Vice has found her footing as a top woman and Petrovich showed out with hard work. Helena and Jane showed all their tag team experience by guiding this contest through some great sequences. Nix thought may have been the biggest surprise, showing up an obvious stumble in wild action. The heels picked up a victory together and this should be the beginning of something. The chemistry of these is really good. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. In the main event, we saw Roxanne Perez taking on Tia Hale. Roxanne Perez focused on the left arm throughout the match, softening up Thea for her crossface, and she locks it in multiple times. Still, Hale refused to quit, forcing Perez to hit pop rocks to her, saying nothing on this card was anywhere near the main event. Perez and Hale battle with ferocity. The Prodigy brought out the absolute best from Hale, who's never looked better. The crowd was all in on the action. And Hale rode the excitement with multiple near falls. Even if the action never quite sold the upset, the Chase Spitfire levelled up in this match. The NXT must give Hale gold sooner rather than later, as she's ready and NXT fans are more than ready to see it. Perez will move on to her next challenger, probably Julia or someone like that, after of course she debuts in August. But yeah, this alone was great, and definitely the best we've seen from Thea. 7 out of 10. And overall NXT gets 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, kind of not much going down really before the last 2 matches, but I thought the last few matches really upped the ante and created a very solid show on the whole. Women shining on this week's episode of NXT, and I think, yeah, it just shows what safe hands that division is in, really. Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.